Our vision is to inspire the world and remove limiting beliefs in your mind. At Sprinkle with Hope, our mission is to inspire you to live your best life by sharing stories of hope, resilience, courage, and overcoming adversity.
We believe that everyone has the potential to lead a joyful, fulfilling life, and we hope to encourage and motivate you to pursue your dreams.
Welcome to the Sprinkled with Hope podcast.
This is Jason. And this is Shane.
And it's podcast time.
Welcome to Your Sprinkle with Hope with your host Shane, and today we're so excited for our guest. Bhawna is joining us actually from Australia, so it's morning her time and it's evening our time, but we've been working on getting her to join us for some time and just the timing wasn't right, but super excited that she's joining us. I actually found her on her Facebook group, The Power of Thoughts and Imagination. When I looked into her a little bit, she's actually a doctor, so she practices being a doctor during the day, and when she has spare time in her personal time, she spreads messages of hope and light and love. We love that. So, Bhavna, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me and being a part of your wonderful joy.
Thank you. So, tell us and our listeners, why did you start this? You're, I'm sure, a very successful doctor, but why would you start something like The Power of Thoughts and Imaginations?
Okay, so when you reach the top and you achieve all what your society tells you is going to make you happy. So you're educated, you have wealth, and you got all this material comfort that are supposed to make you happy. And then you find yourself all of a sudden that you feel empty. You don't find that happiness that you are supposed to find at the top, because that's what people told you to, it will happen eventually when you reach there. And that's how I think my journey started, when I felt that there's something missing in my life. I've got everything that is supposed to give you comfort, but I was not internally comfortable. There was
Mhm.
something I needed in my life. So I looked inwards and I looked for what is it I can do to fill that emptiness. And writing was one of the things I've been doing since my childhood. And I just went back into writing. And that's when I started this page and started connecting with people. And that gave me so much satisfaction that at this point in time, I feel so complete.
I,
And that emptiness has actually turned into a purpose. And I feel so blessed about it.
I love that. And I was reading on your page too that you say that you like to use words to heal, right? So what would you say that you've seen, those words heal others and allow them to, to get past some of the struggles and the things that they've been faced with?
Yeah, you know what? Healing starts from within. First, you have to heal yourself before you can heal others. And in my journey, we go through a lot of challenges in life, a lot of situations in life. So I went into that introspection and looked into my life. I healed myself. And then I felt that, I have got something I have learned. I want to share it with other people. And there are ways we can heal. There are ways we can evolve even from the most painful situations we might have faced in life. And that's where my writing was helping people and is helping people, is through my words. So healing can happen in different forms. Sometimes a word from any person can help you to start that initiation. It can initiate that healing in your heart. So I feel that's why people probably connect, because they find that healing component somewhere in my writings.
I love what you're saying because, it just hit me that here you are, a practicing doctor that should be so successful, but you feel like there's something missing. And the something that you find is reaching out to others and helping them heal, not only through your practice, but through your words. This just such a beautiful thought that I had that, and now you feel like you're complete because you're helping people not only heal maybe physically, but also emotionally and mentally and those type of things. I just love that. So, why don't you tell us maybe a thought that you have on why you think people hold themselves back? Because on your page, I followed you for some time, and you talk about fear and all of those things that maybe hold us back. Why do you think? What do you think might be the maybe the big thing that holds people back from going after things like you are right now?
I think one of the things is our past experiences. Usually, fear is linked to our past experience. So, if we have experienced pain in the past, we are so reluctant to take that step because we are afraid that we're going to get hurt again. And that's one of the reasons why we hold ourselves back. Or sometimes we are so afraid to try because we feel that we're going to lose. So these two things, your past experiences and the fear of losing, can actually hold ourselves back a lot, and we are so reluctant to try something new, give another person a chance in your life, because we associate our next move with our past experience. So I think we need to let go of our past experiences, learn from them, and then just take a new step, because every step is a new step, and at every new step you might have new people, good people, who are actually going to love you and look after you.
That's awesome. Bhavna, I love what you were saying about how we want or we get this feeling like we're going to lose something, right? And really, it almost kind of struck me that we're losing something by having that fear of loss. Like we're losing ourselves and we're losing that sight. So, do you have any like insight on as to how to kind of move through that? If somebody's kind of in that situation where they're, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to lose something, or I'm afraid this is going to happen. Do you have any insight on how to move through those feelings and thoughts?
Yeah, I think first of all, we need to trust life. We need to trust that everything what's happening in our life, everything has whatever has happened in our life, there's always a bigger reason. There's always a better reason for every happening in life. Maybe we don't see it at that time, and sometimes things unfold after many years, and we are thankful for things the way they happened, because we maybe came across some new people in our life. We came across certain some other opportunities in our life because something happened at that time which we were very afraid of, or we were fearful. So trust is very important. Trust, you know, trusting yourself, trusting other people, and trusting the supreme power, that things will go well in life. And the other thing is that if you are really stuck in life, there are always people around you, your family, your friends, and that's what our family and friend is all about, to give you that emotional support when you're afraid of, when you know that there are people standing just next to you, they are going to hold you. I think that also eliminates a lot of fear.
Yeah, it's awesome. I
Love
I
it.
just love following people like you, Bhavna, and then being able to have the opportunity to speak to you one on one. It's just such a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better and to see the insight that you have gained through this. Again, I love that you just felt like you were missing something, but you reached out of yourself and are helping others. That we just love talking to people like you. And so I can't remember exactly. Have you written any books, or I couldn't.
Yeah, I actually did the compilation of all my thoughts in a
That's,
book, because there were a lot of people who couldn't go back to my page to see my old thoughts. So recently I did a volume 2, which was compilation of a lot of my thoughts, but I also added a lot of practical tips because on my social media accounts, I'm very limited to what I can write. I don't want to be too lengthy because then it doesn't, generate a lot of people's interest. They feel they can't read
Mm.
that long. So I compiled that into a book. I added some practical tips, and I think that that might help people who really want to read and find meaning to their lives.
Yeah,
That
I
that's
thought
awesome.
I thought you had written a book. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I love your writing, just what you're sharing every day, and so I'll certainly keep following. If you don't, I think you're up to something like 3 million followers on Facebook. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's something I when I started this journey, I did not start thinking of this is what I want to do or this is what I want to
Right.
get in. Now I'd never think about followers or anything because my aim is not having followers. My aim is reaching to people who really need me and probably who are in a similar situation that I might have faced, and they can benefit from my experiences or the lessons I have learned in life. And I think this is something I always talk about is that whenever we do something in life, if we focus more on what we are doing, so focusing more on your actions than results, I think you always perform better because you're more focused on becoming better, improving yourself than, what the final outcome is going to be.
I love what you're saying, Bhavna. You're speaking my language in that Shane and I, we love focusing on action, right? Like taking action. And I just love the way how you said it, focus more on the action than the results of that action. Because when you're taking action, you're doing something, right? So how have you kind of seen yourself like taking action? How have you seen that affect you personally?
I think my personal life has changed so much after I started this journey. The awareness, the higher sense of awareness, the awakening I had during this time has completely changed me as a person. I look forward to doing what I'm doing right now. So I look forward to writing. It is like I honestly, it's like a prayer for me. Like
Mm,
people pray every day. This is my prayer. I don't chant mantras probably, but this is my prayer because ultimately, whatever you do, you want to gain satisfaction out of it. So even you do anything in your life, you put effort, you want satisfaction ultimately. And this is something, as I said before, it has made me feel so complete and I feel so satisfied that I look forward to writing every day. And that's, I focus on my actions. I don't really care what's the outcome is going to be. If one person is going to like it or two people are going to like it, it's about just me letting myself out and doing what I can do for the world.
Love it. I think the one word that keeps coming to mind as you're talking about all this is purpose. That you know your purpose, and it's not to gain followers, it's not to have a million likes. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is actually to make yourself whole by writing and saying this prayer that what that the way that you described it. Just love this discussion. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. So close to the end of our podcast, what we call the double down dose. So I'll ask you a question and then Jason will ask the second question. The first question of the double down dose is, how would you define hope?
Okay, so hope is your inner trust in yourself and the higher power that things will work out. Even though your life might be tough, even though situations might be hard, things will work. There's someone out there who will help you. Just don't give up.
love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so great. Shane and I love asking these questions because they're basic at their core, but they're so enlightening and people find value in these questions. So the second question of the double down dose is, how would you define love?
Love is just such a beautiful feeling. And I think love is quite misunderstood because when we love someone, we associate that love with a lot of expectations. So, real meaning of love is when you are not receiving it back, but you are still giving out. That's when you understand the true meaning of love.
It's really
Mm,
kind of what you're saying about your purpose, that you're giving your purpose to the world with nothing you're not expecting anything in return. I think we get into trouble when we expect things to come back to us. Jason and I talk about this a little bit, that we do what we do because we just love it. It makes us happy, and we get
right.
to talk to people like you, and we don't expect anything in return. It's simply to help share our light with the world, just like you're doing. Bhavna, this has been so fun to talk to you. I just really appreciate your time and willingness to speak to us and share your insight. It's been fascinating.
No, I did really thoroughly enjoy this conversation, and it's been really absolute pleasure to be a part of your podcast. And I wish you all the best. And I'm sure that you will also, or you are already, reaching out to so many people, and so many people will be benefiting, getting benefit from this kind of conversations. It is really needed at this point in time, I think, especially after COVID. A lot of people need it, and I think if we can just add a little bit from our side, each one of us will make a bigger difference and make the world a better place.
I love those final thoughts, Bhavna, and just that little step every single day, a little bit of hope, a little bit of joy that we can give to somebody else. If it makes them a little bit better, that's awesome. I think we've all won. So thank you so much for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it.